All right, throw out everything you heard, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, the commentary class is blowing this whole thing. Commentary during and after last night's debate last night, even candidly from some of my friends who were Trump supporters this morning, was, oh, man, I think Trump lost. I said, you do? So I texted one of them back. I said, you still voting for Trump? Oh, hell yeah. I like the way he went after him. So how did he lose? I don't get it. You think he lost? Why? Because other people told you he lost. But when I asked you how he did, you liked his bombastic style and you're still voting for him. So again, I'm unsure how he lost. I'm telling you, throw out every single thing you've heard. Trump won. I can prove it. How? Well, bottom line up front. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump is a shark. He's a wolf. He's a grizzly bear. He's the Lion King, as I said last night. He's the apex predator when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
He can be mean. He can be bombastic. He can't be controlled. Now, a lot of folks, again, friends of mine or Trump supporters email me and say, gosh, he seemed a little out of control last night. He was so forceful and his presence was just, I don't know. I think it was too much, which is ironic because that's the same thing I heard during the 2016 debate with Hillary Clinton. Oh my gosh, he was so rough on Hillary, threatening to lock her up. He also won an overwhelming electoral college landslide. What are you missing here? Trump and their team had a strategy last night, and the strategy was very clear. This is a base election. Stop. Gavel down. Stop. Does everybody understand what that means?
Yeah,
this is not a standard presidential election where you try to get your supporters to show up and then you try to convince enough independents to win. That's typical presidential politics, how that works. George W., George H.W., Reagan, get your Republicans to show up. Let's just say for round numbers, and it's roughly true, 40% of the population is going to vote Republican no matter what, 40% Democrat, right? You got 20% persuadables in the middle. That's your standard presidential election. You need to convince 11% of those persuadables to come over to your side while you still keep your 40%. Got it? Makes sense, right? Simple math.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Thank you. I'm going to need you here, Ombudsman Joe. That's not this election and has never been Donald Trump. Do you really believe there are people after 3 years and 10 months of the Donald Trump presidency, do you really believe 10 or 20% of people still haven't made up their mind on Trump? I'll wait. Hold on. Okay, you're shaking your head going, no, you're right. Of course there aren't 20% of people. The election's over. People's decisions are already made. And the ones that haven't made their decision are so small that even if Trump loses all of them, the Trump team has made the calculation that if they turn out their 40% in numbers they've never seen before, that they can win without persuading almost anyone in the middle. Don't let me lose you here. Let's say in a standard presidential election, remember my math, really simple stuff. 40% are yours, 40% are your opponents. You're trying to get the 20% in the middle, a majority of them to go for you. You win with 51%, right? But what if in a standard presidential election, your 40% of voters, you got me? The Republicans 40%, Democrats 40%. What if in a standard presidential election, only 50% of your 40% show up? But what if you are so loyal to your supporters and you're a grizzly bear? You've given up on that, not given up in the sense that forfeited, but you realize that the independents, you're not going to convince them anyway. What if you do so much to cater to your base, conservative judges, tax cuts, this bombastic style, attack mode? What if you do it so well that your 40% shows up, but 80% of your 40% shows up rather than half in a standard presidential cycle? Do you even need the independents? And the answer is probably no. Now, what does this have to do with the debate last night? The Trump team clearly went in. So that's the Trump side saying, go for it, buddy. Lion King style. Hold up the little, what's the Lion King baby? A Simbaruski, whatever say. I never saw the Lion King. I only know that's it. Can you feel the love tonight? Elton John. There you go. It's the Republican Party holding up Donald Trump right there. They said, go for it. Lion King style. Lion King style. Because your base has to get fired up. And he did. So his side, successful? Yeah, pretty much. So much so that his own supporters are texting me going, gosh, I think he lost. Why? You don't like him? No, I loved it. I just think the media told me he lost. Okay, you're wrong. But think about the math on the other side now. So we know excitement for Joe Biden on the left, Joe, ranges from what? About 0 to 0.1%?
Yeah, somewhere there.
Somewhere in that wide range. Nobody on the left really cares about Joe Biden. They just hate Donald Trump. So what did Donald Trump do last night? Donald Trump knows the energy on the left, Joe, is where? Is it with the AOC crowd or is it with the standard rank and file kind of sort of Democrat? Well, Joe knows the energy is with the AOC far left crowd. That's where the energy is, right? It's where the money is. That's where the primary votes are. And that's where the turnout is. Well, what did Trump get him to do last night, Biden? He got him to basically disavow the left on almost every issue outside of packing the courts. Oh, everybody missed that. You didn't. You think that was an accident? Let's go to the videotape here and let's see exactly what Trump did last night to get Biden's 40% to show up at less than 50% of the 40%. Kind of like what they did to Hillary, where 3 million Obama voters who voted for Obama didn't show up to vote for Hillary despite an increased population 8 years later. Cable news people, cuckoo, they missed the whole thing. Let's go to video number 1. Here is Trump again, alpha style, catering to his base, who loved it, and dismantling Biden's base, his lefty radicals. He needs to show up by getting Biden to kind of admit and say, hey, I fought against socialism, but the left loves socialism. You don't believe me? Watch Trump do it right here. This isn't a mistake.
Your party wants to go socialist medicine.
My party is
and
me.
socialist
right
healthcare.
now. I am,
and
the
they're going to dominate
Party.
you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the
Not according
Democratic
to
Party
Harris.
is what I, in fact, approved of. What I approved of.
You think that was a mistake? Listen, again, I'm not suggesting to you everything Donald Trump does is four-dimensional chess. I'm not. There are some times he just says things that he just says and doesn't have a plan for it, and it happens. But a lot of what Donald Trump and his team do is four-dimensional chess, and these idiots on the left in the cable commentary class, some of them fall for it like that. Donald Trump's campaign manager, Bill Stepien, is not stupid. They have figured out a long time ago that this is a base election. It is not get your 40% and win the independents. It's done. There are no independents. You've made your decision about Donald Trump a long time ago. You just need right now to turn out every single Donald Trump voter possible. And the way you do it and get every single potential Biden voter to stay home if you can is by getting Biden to admit he's not a socialist on national television. You may say, I'm not buying it, Dan. Okay, can we reverse the roles a minute? I know Joe's politics. I don't think Joe minds putting him out there. He's putting him out there. Joe's a conservative like me. Put yourself, Let's switch the roles. Imagine Donald Trump last night. Joe Biden got Donald Trump to disavow the Tea Party, the Federalist Society, and conservative groups. Think about it for a minute.
Oh, dude.
What would happen?
Huh? Come on.
Every Republican out there would be on Twitter going, screw this guy. I'm done. I've had enough of him. I'm sitting this one out. But when Trump gets Biden to do it on TV last night, while being the apex predator, the top of the totem pole, the very height of the food chain, everybody goes, oh man, he was out of control. What was he doing? It was so crazy. What he was doing was perfectly calculated. He got Biden to disavow his whole base last night. You think this was a mistake? By the way, this came up. I'm going to show you multiple. It's not just one time. I'm going to show you multiple videos. Here's another video of Trump doing exactly what I'm telling you during the debate and telling Biden he's doing it. You just lost the left.
Here's the deal. The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just
agree.
want to
Hey,
make sure.
Joe, you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
You graduated last in your class, not first in your class.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has,
You'd be
you know,
surprised.
you pick
You'd be surprised.
the
Go ahead,
wrong
Joe.
guy,
Go
the
on,
wrong
Joe,
night at
go.
the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed with
Here's the
Bernie
deal.
Sanders to the
The
manifesto.
whole idea.
Now
Let
you're
him-
disavowing it.
There
Go ahead.
is no manifesto, number
Please
one.
let him speak, Mr.
Number
President.
two.
You just lost the left.
Number two.
You just lost the left. You agreed with Bernie Sanders on a plan
Folks,
that's absolutely
folks,
agreed
do you have
to,
any
and under that
idea
plan,
what
you
this
have
clown's
socialized. They
doing?
call it
Mr.
Do you
Mr.
have any?
President,
How did everybody miss this? I'm serious. I'm not trying to be like the Stygian witches here from Clash of the Titans. Give me the eye. I'm just telling you, if you're, maybe it's because I ran for office and lost. So honestly, hey, I got pretty good at losing. I lost 3 times, almost won one. But you know what doesn't work? You move on, you do other things. You get off your butt and you find other things to do. The fight's here now, not over there. But when you run and you lose, you learn what works and what doesn't. And when you run as a massive underdog and you almost win to have it slip out of your fingers, you really learn what works and what doesn't. Trump has figured out it's a base election. Find Trump supporters and get them to vote, and get people who could be Biden supporters to no longer be Biden supporters. Forget the independents. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. If they want to vote Trump, he'll take them. He is not catering to people. He's not going to change. And his campaign manager has clearly figured this out. Trump is Trump. You're either with him or you're not. The goal now is to turn out every Trump is Trump voter and to get everyone suspicious of Biden even more suspicious of Biden.
You just heard Dan Bongino.